Hey everybody, Sean here from Paracord. Today we are going to make a key lanyard, something that'll clip onto your belt loop with this carabiner, and we'll have a neon pink sort of lead coming from it, and on the other end we'll have this new style clip that we just started carrying today, along with a key ring that you put on the end of this, so that'll come in at the very end. So let's get started. I have about, I don't know, you don't need much cord, about 5 to 6 feet of cord here. And like before, all of these things you'll see in the products section below on our website. So this will be easy to make. In the neon pink, it's October, so Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So the first thing we want to do is attach this to our clip here, and I believe we call these the metal carabiner clip. I'm not really sure what we called these. I think they're the metal clip. We'll zoom in a little here, a little more, and we're just going to find our center point, which is right here. And the way I found it is I put the two ends together, ran all the cord through my hand, and it ended up right there. So one way you can do it, and I'll show you both ways. Run your bite through, or your loop through the hole, open the cord or the loop, and then just fold it over, and that will attach just like that. That's the easy way to do it. Another way you can do it is take the same thing, the same way you just did it, poke that through there, open the loop, grab the cord, pull the cord through that loop, and it does the exact same thing. So both ways. This is called a cow's hitch. Lots of different names for it. And today we are going to do what's called a Japanese bend. Well, as far as the name of it, in the Ashley Book of Knots, I made a note here. Number 1423, the Japanese bend. There's probably another name for it too. This is if you're combining two pieces of rope or whatever, it's a bend, but we're going to do it without cutting the cord. It gets kind of technical when you start talking about Ashley Book of Knots, but if you're nerdy like that, like I am, you'll know what I'm talking about. So to get this started, what you want to do is you're going to use your finger as kind of like a spacer. So I use my index on my left hand, and then you're just going to create on the left side, you're going to create a little loop down at the bottom. So your left cord, create that loop like that, and then create another loop that goes up and touches your finger. And that's going to be your spacing. So then you can take your finger out, and you want to hold this part, this loop here, that's what was touching your finger. You don't want that loop to move. So now if you look at it, you have something that looks like this, and you don't want that loop to move. And we're going to make 4 of these. So with that being said, then you take your right cord and you take the end of it, and we are going to go up through this loop like that and pull all of your cord through. So this is the right side. And you don't want to pull this all the way through so that it does this. You don't want that. You want it to be the same length on the right as your left. So at this point, once the cord comes through, I pinch right here and I turn this sideways. Then I grab the cord that just came up through that loop, wrap it completely around everything. And once it's wrapped around everything, then you take your working end again and go down through this loop. And you'll have something that looks like this. It's kind of hard to make heads or tails of what this is, but this first strand, the one that goes down and then up, that's the first thing you did. Then you took your right cord up through the loop, wrapped it around everything, went over these 2 cords, and then down through the loop. And then it's just a matter of not letting anything move. So one way you can do that is to tighten these cords up first. So you want to pull this So you have a little bit of slack there, and then grab the cord from behind here, get that nice and tight. Then we want to draw up this loop first. So all you do, grab this loop, pull straight up like that. See how it draws everything up? And then you want to grab your working end here and pull that loop down. And that will give you, they call it, Ashley Book of Knots calls this the Japanese bend. The backside does look a little different, but I still like this for this. All right, so now you have the distance there. So you just want to replicate this 3 more times. So we'll do it a little quicker this time. Put your finger in between the last one you did and your working ends. Go down, create a loop, go up, create another loop, and bring that cord back down. Now take your finger out while you're pinching everything like that. Take your right working end, go up through the loop. Oops, got a little bit of a twist going in here. There we go. Go up through the loop, take the cord all the way around everything. So the one that just came up through the loop, take it around the back, take it around, and then go down through the loop here. Pull that through. Now we want to get as much of the slack out of that cord as you can, so like that. Now in order to get this loop out, you have to grab this loop, pull straight up, and then grab your working end to pull that loop out like that. And that should be pretty close. And then I just like to grab all 4 of these cords and just kind of wiggle them a little bit. And you can see we're kind of making like these chain links. So we got 2 more to do. So let me zoom in just a little bit more here. So loop at the bottom, loop at the top that touches your finger. Pinch everything so the loops don't move. Take your right working end, bring it up through the loop, off to the right. Make sure that you're not pulling too much, so make sure you're not pulling all of this. Take all of your cord around the back, and then go down through this loop on the left. Just like that. Get all your slack out of that one. Or most of it. It doesn't have to be all of it. Pull your slack up with this loop. Pull down on this one. And that kind of tightens everything in there. And then kind of work these in to tighten them. You can see we have 3 knots in there. Now we have 1 more to do. So it's going to be a shorter video, it looks like. So down, up, touch your finger, pinch everything, get your finger out of there. Take the right cord, go up through. Oh, and I should have sealed the end of that a little better. Up through, get rid of that twist. Still got a little twist in there. Wrap it around. Take it down through that loop. Oops, I was out of frame, wasn't I? Yeah, I tend to do that sometimes. Tighten that up a little. Okay. Pull the slack out there first. In there. And see, this one ended up being a little bit smaller, so what you can do is just kind of, when you're tightening this, you can just kind of like pull on this end instead of pulling these, and you can make this a little bit longer. Now if that's not enough, see these links look a little bit longer than this last one that I did, and that's just going to annoy me. So what I'm going to do is just loosen a little bit here, and then also loosen a little bit on this other side. So I loosened this one, now I can loosen this one. just a little. And all of that slack that you're pulling in, you're just going to move it up into the link section here. So then we got a little bit here. Pull that back that way. And see, we made it a little bit longer. There we go. Now, a couple ways to end this, and I've been debating on how I want to do this, but one way that you can do this, and it wouldn't look bad at all, is to, whatever clip you're going to use, is just to run the two cords through. And on the back side of these knots, you have this cord that is just a straight line right here. So one way that you could do this is to take your two ends that are going through the carabiner like that, run them using a fid, run them under this line right here, and then cut these two cords. So these would be underneath of this cord right here. And then you would cut here and seal it. And what that would give you is like another link here, and this would just kind of move freely. You could put any clip in there you wanted. That would work fine. I wouldn't have an issue with that. What I am opting to do is just cut these ends right here and here, and seal them, and then use this as my loop to connect to the carabiner. Either way, I really think is a good way to finish this off. I was trying to think of different knots that I could do. Maybe sliding knots that would slide right up to the carabiner. Didn't like how they were turning out. So I would rather give you something that will still look good and function well than just something, or rather than give you something that I was just kind of guessing at. So there's that one. That one's nice and sealed. That's not going to move. And then we have this one. Cut that there. Use the torch lighter to melt this down. I got a little bit extra. I should have cut it a little bit closer. And then I use my tightening tool here to roll over the melted portion. There we go. And that will end right there. Get these out of the way. So we have basically this little chain here. And you can use these for your wallet, your keys, any kind of carabiner. My thought was you would put this on the end like that. So that would sit there. Then you would put your keychain, or key rings, whatever you've got. So you've got your keys. This would clip onto your belt loop. So imagine a belt loop right here, clip on, and then you have your front pocket of your jeans. Then this would go into your front pocket, and this would just sit right above your pocket. So like if this was your pocket, then you always have your keys attached, and they're in your pocket. Also really good if you've got a belt or a wallet that has a loop on it. Same thing. Hook this to your belt loop. Hook the other end to the loop on your wallet. Make this a little bit longer, and then you have something that'll hold onto your wallet. I hope you found this informative. Wasn't too hard at all, really, and it would use up some scraps that you might have. So I hope you try this out. It's a pretty easy one once you get used to it. A little decorative. You could use two colors if you fuse the two colors together. That would look kind of cool too. So let me know if you know the other name in the Ashley Book of Knots for what this is, for using two strands that don't terminate. Would love to know, because I flipped through there just briefly looking for it and came across the bend. But let me know in the comments if you find it. No big deal. And don't forget the Facebook group. This will be posted in there. Facebook.com/groups/paracord on. And until next time, paracord on. Do me a quick favor and hit that subscribe button to your left.
There's other great videos all the time, and there's a few to the right side of the screen, and you can also buy Paracord at our site with the link at the bottom left. Thank you again for watching.